Greetings and welcome back to Jack Wippich Court, Kimberly High School, site of tonight's Fox Valley Association boys matchup. It's the second game of our doubleheader. Kimberly taking on Hortonville. Thanks for joining us again. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin and the Post Crescent. Hanging out with me again for game number 2 is Mike Sherry, pinch hitting for Ricardo Arguello, who is off tonight. And, of course, manning the high-definition cameras, none other than Jim Rosandick. We call him Rosie. I think we're situated, ready to go. It takes a lot to shut down that girls' game and get this boys' game going. But, Mike, it should be a good battle. Hortonville coming in playing some pretty good basketball. And I know Kimberly 0-2, trying to figure things out here with first-year head coach Freddie Owens. But Hortonville just took down Appleton North the other night.
Yeah, Polar Bears off to a 3-0 start, 1-0 in the FBA, Brett. Yeah, like you said, they beat the 8th-ranked Appleton North team just the other night, so don't want to say it's a surprise. They've got some talented players at Hortonville. We knew that coming into the season, and so far they're off to a really good start.
Well, I tell you what, we're kind of going to rush through this a little bit. Let's do some game notes for both teams. For Kimberly, I'll do that. Mike, you'll do Hortonville, but Kimberly 0-2 on the season overall, 0-1 in the FBA. The Papermakers coming off a 72-58 loss to Neenah last Friday. That's an FBA matchup down at Neenah High School, a game we streamed. Landon Van Offeren paced Kimberly with a game-high 20 points on 10 of 18 shooting. Alex Krause finished with 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting, which included a 3 of 4 showing from three-point range. Ben Grabner was next with 10 points on the season. Van Offeren, leading the way in scoring at 13 points per game. He's shooting 46% overall. Ryan Buchanan is next at 10.5 points. He's shooting 62% overall and 56% from distance, where he's 5 of 9. Krause is third at 9.5 points. He's shooting 70% overall, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. Don't have rebounding totals, but we can tell you that Mikey Wiles is the team leader in assists, 6.5 per game. As a team, Kimberly is shooting 47% overall, 36% from three-point range, 46% from the line. Kimberly averaging 60.5 points per game and allowing 72. So defensively, Papermakers going to have to shore some things up. But Mike, what can you tell me about the 3-0 Polar Bears overall, 1-0 in the FBA?
The Polar Bears coming off, as we said, a 56-54 victory over then number 8 ranked Appleton North last Friday in an FBA matchup at North. 4 players scored in double figures for Hortonville that night, with Riley Mueller, Ethan Joling, and Alden Rogers each leading the way with 12 points. Mueller was 6 of 8 shooting, while Joling was 6 of 10 and also had 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Rogers was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Blake Idol added 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting. He also knocked down 3 three-pointers and finished with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. The Polar Bears out-rebounded the Lightning 30-22. For the season, Miller's the top scorer for the Polar Bears with 17.7 points per game, shooting 72% overall and 50% from three-point range. Joling is averaging 16.7 points a game. He's shooting 56% overall. Rogers is averaging 14.3 points a game and shooting 54% overall, including 42% from beyond the arc and 80% at the line. Joling leads the Polar Bears in rebounding with 6 per game. Rogers and Idol are averaging 3.3 and 3 assists per game to pace the Polar Bears in that category, Brett. As a team, Hortonville is shooting 54% overall, 36% from three-point and 65% at the line. The Polar Bears are averaging 12.7 steals per game. Hortonville has been scoring at a 70.3 points per game clip and is allowing just 53.7 points per game in its unbeaten 3-0 start. Up next after tonight for the Polar Bears is a game against Fond du Lac at home next Tuesday.
We did it. We got through the notes just in time. We're going to meet the starting fives from both sides here in a little bit. Remember, anthem coming up as well. Good to have the band here as adds a little extra juice to tonight's festivities. Again, the second game of our doubleheader Cellcom varsity game of the week. Second week in a row we've done that. I don't know if we'll continue that pace all season long, but try to get these games in before the holiday break, right?
You and Ricardo and Rosie won't know what to do if there's just one game.
Yeah, you know. Well, it's nice to have 2 games on one night, though. You don't have to spread it out, but still gets to be a little hectic, but it's a fun hectic, and glad to be here again at Kimberly High School. Thanks again to Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director, and his great staff for making sure we're good to go for both of these games tonight. National anthem first, then we'll meet the starting fives.
About 100 boys and girls in that band for Kimberly over there.
Good pep band.
Absolutely impressive turnout.
Again, thanks for joining us on our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel, Post Crescent Facebook page, and postcrescent.com. Get the starting fives here in a second. For the Polar Bears, a 6'1" junior guard, number 1, Riley Miller. 6'7" junior guard, number 2, Ethan Joling. 6'1" junior guard, number 14, Max Chan. 6'1" senior guard, number 15, Alden Rogers. And a 6'7" senior post player, number 24, Owen Sipes. So that's Miller, Joling, Chan, Rogers, and Sipes for head coach Matt Hintz and his Hortonville Polar Bears. Got some size on that team, Mike.
Sipes 6'7", Joling 6'7", one of the top juniors in the state, Joling.
Paper makers, a 6'1" senior guard, number 1, Aaron Cullen. 6'3" senior guard, number 4, Aiden Lom. 6'4" senior forward, number 23, Landon Van Offert. 6'4" sophomore guard, number 33, Alex Krause. And who am I missing?
It was Cullen.
Oh, Mikey Wild.
Wilds.
Yeah, number 2, a 6'3" senior guard, number 2, Mikey Wild. So that's Cullen, Wild, Lom, Van Offeren, and Krause for Kimberly head coach Freddie Owens. Kimberly in the home white, Hortonville in the road black, and here we are, game number 2 underway. Hortonville with the basketball.
Both coaches seated on the bench. I don't think in the girls' game either coach sat down the entire night.
Right now they have Van Offeren on Joling. How about that? Miller with the take and the finish, and Polar Bears quickly on the board. And a quick turnover. Hortonville off to a good start with a quick bucket. Now a defensive turnover. Chance to add to this early lead as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Three from the corner is good. That's number 15. That's Rogers, Alden Rogers. And look at this. 5-0 lead early for the Polar Bears. They don't waste time getting these games going, do they? Not much of a break between the girls and the boys. And I think we're going to get a foul. A little too aggressive defensively are the Polar Bears.
I don't mind that, Brett. Get these games going. It was great in the girls' game. The one thing I love about basketball is halftime is quick. These high school football games, halftime is just 20, 25 minutes now.
It's weird, though. Is Cullen, he's going to have to kick it out. Good ball movement and the finish by Van Offeren. Yeah, you know, those football halves, it's like 15 minutes, and then they always add like 3 more minutes once you're down with the 15.
Right.
So, yeah, those are long halftime breaks. Tough off the glass and rebound. That's Krause. Here come the paper makers. A chance to maybe tie it. Yeah, they're going to let it go. Wilds does. And just like that, the paper makers answer. Thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. For a limited time at Cellcom, every phone is on sale or free for new and existing customers. Capture your holiday memories on a new phone. Stop in or shop online at cellcom.com. And Cooney's, get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's. That's Rogers. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Custom embroidery, screen printing, and graphic design. Cooney's does it all. Visit them online at cooney'sembroideryandsportswear.com.
I need to visit our friends at Cellcom. I need a new phone. I did an update on my phone not too long ago, and
not working so hot.
Hasn't been working great since the update.
My phone has been acting a little jittery too. I might have to check out Cellcom. Looks like a timeout for the paper makers and a 30-second timeout. So a bit of a frenzied pace here to start this game.
Yeah, I'm always amazed, Brett. I watched, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, I watch the kids play now compared to, they're just so much bigger, stronger, and faster. At least it seems like they are than who I competed against and who I played against.
No doubt about it.
You know, sometimes I think, am I overblowing that, or is it really that big of a difference? But I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I've thought about that too. Just the athleticism of these kids now is. It just seems more kids could dunk, fly to the rim, get almost play above the rim. I don't remember that a lot. At least the athleticism, maybe the skill. Is the skill quite as good as it used to be when kids were more focused on? I don't know. That's a good question right there. But athleticism, absolutely.
It's off the charts.
And speaking of athletes, here's Joling with the basketball. You said, Mike, one of the top juniors in the state going against Van Offeren. Tough spin. Good look, and Krause with the board.
Cheering sections for both teams, Brett, are definitely into this game.
Good crowd here again, and that's one of the advantages of that doubleheader. Everybody can check out both games rather than splitting up the crowd. Three, good, and that is Krause. Couple triples now for the paper makers. First lead of the game for Kimberly, 8-7, as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. How about Miller with a tough basket off the glass? High energy in this game. Little give and go. Cullen, little acrobatic move, and I think he's fouled. Right in front of the Hortonville students. They're trying to voice their displeasure, Mike, to the official.
Yeah, they're not going to win that fight. That was a clear foul. Not that the refs ever listen to what the crowd is saying.
No.
They hear them, but they might hear them, but they're not listening.
Yeah, they're not paying too much attention. Cullen hits the first. So already, Mike, that's 4 different players who have scored for Kimberly.
Yeah, they've done a good job so far moving the ball and finding the open player for the better shot.
You know, that Hortonville win over Appleton North. Appleton North, a really good team. A lot is expected out of the Lightning. That was the last second bucket, I thought, was what won it. I thought I had heard that or saw that maybe on social media, but that's a heck of a win, taking on an Appleton North team with all that returning talent. Boy, some physical defense down there.
Well, we talked about it during the girls' game, how deep and talented the FVA was. It's not any different on the boys' side.
Boy, you look at the boys' side. Kakana just took down Oshkosh North on a last-second bucket last week. Kagosa, I believe, are ranked 2nd, and Oshkosh North now ranked 4th. Xavier Mitchell, the Iowa State recruit with Oshkosh North, and of course, as we mentioned, all those kids back for Appleton North. You got Ramus and Hardy and Samari Toure, and who else am I missing? Sweeney. And Offren, so a lot of guys. And then who else is, Nina's going to be tough. You know that they're going to be, I thought, very impressed with how the Rockets played last week. This Hortonville team looks very athletic in the early stages with some pieces already. Kimberly's going to come around with their athletes. They're not going to stay down too long.
Appleton East is off to a good start as well.
Yeah, Patriots, they took down Marshfield, and then who did they just beat? I know Marshfield was missing one of their key guys, but still, that's a nice win. Marshfield was ranked 3rd at the time in the state of Wisconsin.
No easy nights, Brett. Never is in the FVA.
Whoa. As I said, I'm looking forward. Oh, there's a steal. Krause. Is he going to take one and try to flush it? Miller chasing. No, Krause will just lay it in. And a great start for the Papermakers here, up 5 as we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Deep 3 by Miller, nothing but net. And Miller now with 7. Boy, good-looking player is Riley Miller, 6'1" senior guard. But beyond this, as we talked about in the girls' game, the FRCC has DePere top-ranked. Of course, you look at it, Schwabenon is ranked very high, I think in Division II with, was that Amari Allen, the Alabama recruit? Look at this! Whoa! Deep 3 for Miller. Feeling hot, and just like that, the Polar Bears up 1.
10 quick points for Riley. Yeah, Amari Allen last night had a triple-double, Brett. He scored 37 points. I think he had 11 assists and 10 rebounds against Bayport.
Saw that, yeah, big. And of course, Alabama, that's no joke. That's one of the top teams in the country, a Final Four team last year.
Of course, FVA teams are familiar with him.
Yeah, played at Kakana. Was it his freshman year?
I believe so, yeah.
But, yeah, so that's going to be some good battle. West DePere is going to be tough on the boys and girls side. And then the Northeastern Conference is going to be good. Freedom with Donovan Davis. You know, he's one of the top sophomores in the state. Cullen letting it go. Rims out. No good. Wrightstown's always going to be tough. I'm hearing good things about Little Chute, FVL. So it's going to be some pretty good ball around here again. We talked about it a lot in the girls' game.
Ricardo's weekly rankings come out every Monday. He ranks the top boys teams and girls teams in the area. And every week when I read those, I'm like, boy, that's a lot of talent.
Ton of talent, yeah. It should be fun to see how it all plays out. Pretty fun to see where Joling ends up. Oh, good feed. And somehow, I thought that was going to fall for number 21, Aiden Sweeney. Couldn't get it to fall, but a great feed from Joling.
Great pass. I think Sweeney would have been better just to go up and shoot that. He tried to avoid the foul, and sometimes when you avoid the foul, you make it harder on yourself to hit the shot. It was a nice move, though. Just didn't finish.
That's 4 fouls already now in Hortonville. That's the thing. So Miller with the foul, but okay, the officials are going to start calling some things now. Now you have to adjust, right, to how they're going to blow the whistle. So you might have to dial down the aggressiveness a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, that's how these teams play, though. They're going to play hard. They're going to play in your face, and sometimes fouls are just the what comes with it.
Well, good job to kind of break that pressure a little bit. Just couldn't finish. That was Grabner with the miss. I was really impressed with him. I watched the Kimberly Spash game. That was the opener. That was a live stream I checked out. Miller, tough shot in traffic there. Rebound to Kimberly. Well, no, we got a loose ball. That definitely some contact there. And what do we have?
Matt Hintz with his hands out to the side like, are you guys going to call a foul?
Rousey calls it, just as I was saying. They're kind of calling it a little tight, but that time letting some contact go. But I watched that Kimberly Spash opener. It took over 10 minutes for Kimberly to finally get on the scoreboard. Papermakers actually forced overtime before Spash pulled away. Spash was some nice kids. Cease and Grant Shanana, and then Trent Shanana. That's a team to maybe to watch down the line in that Wisconsin Valley, along with Marshfield. DC Everest, I'm hearing, possibly could be a team to be reckoned with as Van Offeren. But Grabner in that game, really impressed with his ability to be a rim protector and defender, and he did some things offensively in that Neenah game as well. So you look at Grabner, a 6'9" senior forward. Good little piece coming off the bench for Freddie Owens.
Yeah, and I think that was him with the nice pass there leading to that last basket too. Didn't get a ton of minutes last year as a junior.
No,
but
he was hurt a lot last year, dealing with some injury. Joling with a beautiful little pull-up jumper, his first bucket of the night. Of course, some of these Kimberly kids, football players, kind of getting their bodies into basketball shape, but tremendously talented athletes. So as we said in the girls' game, what are we going to see now versus what we're going to see in February? Same with these two teams as well. As the
Kimberly didn't make maybe quite as long of a football run as they expected they would this year, so some of these football players got the little more time to transition into basketball.
Yeah, they were bounced in the second round by Neenah. It was Miller and Neenah in the state quarterfinals, losing to Muskego. Muskego then going on to beat, what was that, Arrowhead in the semis, I want to say, and then Bayport taking down Muskego in the championship game.
How about Bayport winning the state title in football?
Yeah, good for them, and congratulations to the Pirates. Grabner with the bucket. And as I talk about development, again, number 44, Ben Grabner, 6'9". Watch how he grows throughout the season. Like I said, nicked up last year, didn't get a ton of minutes, but he's a kid that's just going to look, I think, better and better as he already looks like he's going to be formidable already. What's he going to look like as the season goes on? It's going to be fun to watch how he grows.
Yeah, and sometimes, these taller kids, it takes them a little bit of time to grow into their body, learn how to move their body on the court.
Three-point shot blocked. Boy, acrobatic shot somehow gets it to fall. That is Sweeney. I think in case of Grabner, though, I think he looks strong, physical. Again, he's going to be a fun player. Keep your eye on him. No doubt about it. But impressed right now, Mike, with both of these teams, the athleticism is pretty impressive. Playing a kind of a feverish pace. You mentioned both coaches starting the game on the seats, but they're both
anymore.
up now. They're both into it.
They're into it.
Nice little bounce pass. Defender, Mikey Wilds is almost there, but that's Miller again. Miller's a scorer, isn't he?
He sure is.
Kind of hunting that shot as the old Dick and Jack Bennett way of saying it, right? Hunting that shot. Boy, Miller is definitely doing that. Miller already with 12 points to lead all scorers.
You talked about the frantic pace. I'll take that anytime.
No doubt.
I mean, I don't mind defense. I don't mind the methodical play either, but it's fun to watch these guys. That's not a good pass there, though.
And I think we're going to get a trip on number 15. That's Alden Rogers. Boy, frenetic.
I think Mueller looked up and saw his guy racing down the court. Never saw the Kimberly defender.
Who was that? Who grabbed that ball? Was that Wilds or Cullen? I'll say if it was Wilds, he's taking that role he has as a football defensive back and translating that over to basketball.
Yeah, played a little deep center field there and read the quarterback's eyes. I don't want to jinx it, Brett, but so far, quick half, too. Only 7 minutes left in the first half already.
Yeah. Whoa, gets it to fall. That's Krause who's got 7. And a good battle here so far in this one.
Like you said, these teams they're just running up and down the court playing. There's not been a lot of whistles, not been a lot of stops in action.
Physical play, both teams playing through traffic so well. Again, here's Joling, again going against 2 guys and almost gets it to fall, but he'll go to the line.
Real nice take by Joling. At first I thought he was going to pull up for maybe a little mid-range jumper, and then he said, nope, I'm going to the basket.
Fouls on Ryan Buchanan. He had a nice game in that smash game coming off the bench, number 5. He is the brother of former Kimberly standout Jake Buchanan, 1,000-point scorer here at Kimberly. Played at UW Stevens Point. Thank you very much. Pointer's off to a pretty good start, looks like.
Figured you'd get that plug in for Stevens Point somewhere.
Former Kimberly standout as well. Seth Myron, a sophomore on that team. And Nina's Ethan Holzel's on that team as well. Stevens Point starting to tap into the Fox Valley again. Van Offren, ooh, good defense though. Really working that baseline hard. That was number 3, Caden Kresge, doing a good job and getting the turnover. Now here come the Polar Bears. Off the glass and in, a little reverse by Rogers. A little acrobatic finish. Boy, these teams really showcasing the athleticism right now. And the skill. Buchanan going to let it fly. Rebound. Who's going to get it? Polar Bears, here comes Joling. Mikey Wilds taking him on. And a good job by Kimberly not to allow that baseline cutter. Thought maybe there could have been a backdoor opportunity, but the defender staying right with number 15, Alden Rogers. So Hortonville will reset. Up 4, under 6 minutes to play.
Kimberly fans chanting boring because they've taken longest possession of the game, and they ended up with a miss there.
Yeah, Rogers with the miss on the 3, so now Kimberly trying to cut into that deficit. Wilds left hand and can't get it to fall. It hung on the rim, just falls out.
Pretty drive, pretty shot attempt, just couldn't get it in.
See a bunch of, 2 or 3 guys ready to check in. Joling going to let it fly from the corner. Ooh, looked pretty good, but bounces off. Buchanan with the rebound, and we're going to get a timeout for Kimberly, a full timeout. That's a good timeout. Kind of get a quick breather, get some guys in.
Yeah, and I think Coach Owens wanted to get the subs into the game as well there. So, like you said, good time to take a timeout.
Speaking of Freddie Owens, of course, first year here, he replaces Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Famer John Murphy, who retired after 3 seasons with the Papermakers. Of course, that really long run with Seymour. Owens, of course, everybody remembers him, University of Wisconsin, former player, former Badger, a 2-year starter. 4-year letter winner for the Badgers. Co-captained the Badgers 2002 and 03 Big Ten regular season and league tournament championship teams. Now, I thought I remember this correctly, and I looked it up actually today. He did hit that game winner, that 3-pointer from the corner against Tulsa. I don't know. I remember that. That's the Freddie Owens shot. That was the second round of the 2003 NCAA tournament game. I think it was 60 to 58. Tulsa was leading, and then Owens on a feed from Devin Harris. Everybody was guarding Devin Harris back then.
Yeah.
And Owens was a nice player for the Badgers. He just let it fly, nothing but net in Wisconsin, going on to the Sweet 16 that season. So, yeah, the Freddie Owens shot.
Devin Harris, one of the great Wisconsin high school basketball players to come out of there, Wauwatosa East.
Freddie Owens, he played at Milwaukee, was it Washington?
I thought it was Washington.
Yeah. Joling, oh, tough, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
I'm too old. I didn't play against Devin Harris, but I did play against Tony Smith.
Okay.
Tony Smith, who played, of course, at Marquette, and went on to play in the NBA with the Bulls, Lakers a little bit. I played against Tony Smith in high school when he was at Tosa East.
You shut him down?
I didn't shut him down, but I did. He was going in for a dunk against us, and he was starting to kind of showboat a little bit, and I don't think he thought I could catch him from behind. So he was starting to ramp up there for a dunk, and I chased him down from behind and knocked the ball away because he was starting to hot dog it a little bit, thinking about what kind of dunk he was going to do, and I just,
You're going to not have any of that.
You're not dunking on me.
I've seen your quickness during those.
No, you haven't. There is none.
Those grueling wiffle ball tournament days that we used to play. Back at, what was that, Player's Choice it was called?
Yeah.
My claim to fame in that wiffle ball league was I struck out Matt Erickson.
I think I did too. I think we both did one. I don't know if that was the same game or.
I had some nasty. I forget how I was able to contort that pitch, but I got him.
I know I did because I've brought it up with Matt on occasion, of course, when I run into him.
I'm sure he laughed. I know he kind of laughed when I brought it up to him one time.
Oh, he's probably sick of us bringing it up then. Maybe we shouldn't do that anymore.
That's the highlight. It's either that or winning the all-around tournament at the office United Way pool.
He got a hit off Greg Maddox at Wrigley Field, and now I don't think he spends too much time worrying about us striking him out.
I don't care, Mike. I struck out a big leaguer. I did it. That's my claim to fame. That's how sad my athletic existence is. That's as impressive as it's going to get.
I struck out a big leaguer once in baseball. I struck out Joe Randa. I don't know if you remember Joe.
Really? Yeah, I remember that
Joe
name.
Randa played for IF. I think he played for the Foxes when they were a Royals affiliate.
Oh, wow.
Appleton Foxes, and then
way back when.
Long career with the Royals, and he was from Oconomowoc. We played Oconomowoc in high school.
There you go. You got a legit strikeout. Offensive foul on Joling, his first. No basket there. Four-point lead for Hortonville as we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Looks like we have a good chat here tonight. Thanks for everybody tuning in, hanging out with us. I see you, Andy Hurley. I see you, Hank DeWild. And, beautiful jumper there. That's number 25, Keegan Plew. That's 6 players now who have scored for the Papermakers.
That's what they're going to need. They don't have that one, big-time scorer.
That's kind of what we talked about with Nina last week. They really showed some good offensive balance, and that's probably what strength in numbers, right? That's what you're going to have to just rely on everybody chipping in, and maybe that's the recipe for success for this Kimberly team as well.
Nina's always, obviously they had Brady Corso in recent years, and Klesmit before him, but that's always been a trademark of Nina, though, is a lot of good balance too. So.
Well, that run for, you think, Matt Helt and Adam Pullman before that. A lot of their top scorers in Nina history have actually recently graduated. Chevalier Emery Jr., Carter Thomas, who's now at UW Oshkosh, J.J. Piter, who I don't know if he's one of the top scorers all time, but really came into his own and spurred that championship run a few years back. That's Aiden Lom with a triple. Make it 7 players who have scored for the Papermakers. But, yeah, it's kind of different this year. They don't have one of those, quote, all-timers, right, as far as career scoring for the Rockets. And Grabner, I don't think they're calling him.
I think they're going to get Lom for that foul. Yeah, that postseason run that J.J. Pater went on, that was something else.
I think he plays at lacrosse
He's
now.
at lacrosse, yeah.
Shooting a pair of free throws is Rogers. Looking to add to his point total. Now 8, his first trip to the free throw line. 4 or 5 now the Polar Bears are from the stripe. And look at this, we're all tied up with 2:20 to play.
Bryce Mishler checks in for Kimberly. First time he's been on the court tonight. Freddie Owens playing a lot of kids for sure.
Well, it's a feeling out process for him, seeing who he's got.
And he said that in our the story Ricardo did, and we'll reference that again throughout the game. But he said that. He said he's still trying to figure out what who can do what on his team.
Grabner called for the offensive foul. Yeah, it takes a while to get, especially you're brand new, right, to get to know all these kids in the program, not only here, but JV, freshmen, youth levels. Who's coming up? How about that pull-up from Joling? Joling now with 7.
He seemed determined to get a shot there. He was going to get that no matter what.
Yeah, he's hunting his shot, too. Beautiful mid-range pull-up by Joling. Grabner does a nice job kicking up. Corner 3, that was a good look. Just couldn't get it to fall. That was number 13, Bryce Mishler, as you mentioned, the junior. And now Hortonville with a little over a minute and a half to play, trying to add to this 3-point lead.
Good job by Rogers there to come get the ball. Joling was kind of trapped in the corner a little bit.
Wow, tough take. Whoa, what a finish. Little crossover and then just a tough take off the glass. A little, kind of almost like a little finger roll off the glass. How about Miller with, 14 points? Beautiful shot, good-looking player. Grabner going to take a 3. Looked pretty good off his hands. Fight for the ball. Here comes Joling. Is he going to take it down? Oh, look at the reverse for Joling.
I think Heath was thinking about dunking it, but then he saw, I think it was that Grabner who came in late there and got in his way and did a great job of adjusting in midair.
Yeah, going under the basket, reverse, and Joling now with 7 points. Final 35 seconds to play and a little run here to end this first half by the Polar Bears.
Of course, when you're 6'7" and athletic, you can adjust in the air a lot easier.
What do we have here? Is this a timeout?
I think Kimberly's going to take a timeout there, yep. 30-second.
30-second timeout for Freddie Owens.
Goes on a little run here, Brett.
Yeah, so Owens looking like he's going to try to set something up to get a little, end that run and get a nice bucket before the half with 26.3 seconds to go. Stay with us if you don't mind. We'll tell you everything that's coming up again. Maybe quickly review that girls' game. Kimberly with a 63-46 win over the Polar Bears in the opener, and a pretty good nightcap here between these two teams. Hortonville trying to stay undefeated on the season. Kimberly looking to notch its first win.
Papermakers seem content here to take the last shot.
Krause with it, and we're just about at that 10-second mark. Clock running. Wilds now going to work against Joling. Kick out, 3-pointer from the corner. Good. That's Krause. And that's a good little play, Mike. And a good end to the half for the Papermakers.
Yeah, they couldn't have executed that any better, Brett. Ran the clock down, got the that cross-court skip pass on the baseline that has kind of become a thing in basketball the last few years, that play, and Krause knocked down the shot.
Yeah, good job by Wilds to kind of draw that help and found his teammate from the corner. All right, halftime here at Jack Wippich Court, Kimberly High School. And as you can see, the Polar Bears on top of the Papermakers 34-30 in this Fox Valley Association matchup. We'll talk more about tonight's game and again, everything we have coming up digitally at USA Today Network Wisconsin after these short messages.
For a limited time at Cellcom, every phone is on sale or free for new and existing customers. Because keeping you at the center of everything we do includes giving you the freedom of choice. Stop in or shop online at Cellcom.com.
Promote your business, unite your team, or just get your name out there with help from the professionals at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your business or organization. We can put your logo, name, or anything else you want on any article of clothing. From embroidery and screen printing to graphic design and heat press services, we've got you covered. Call today.
Welcome back to Jack Wippich Court, Kimberly High School again. There's our halftime scoreboard. Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery board. Polar Bears on top, 34-30. And first half thoughts, Mike?
Fast pace. The last couple of minutes, the team slowed it down a little bit, but for the most part, it was in-your-face defense. It was a lot of shots, getting them up quick. Real impressed by both teams how they're taking the ball to the basket, Brett. Not settling for a lot of jump shots. They've hit some, but they're taking the ball to the hoop and either getting layups for themselves or setting up their teammates with open looks. Both teams playing really hard, and both teams playing really well.
Well, it should be a fun second half. Both teams in the locker room right now, halftime. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get those stocking stuffers ready with buy one, gift one free on all connected watches, tablets, and cameras. Mix and match to spread the love and cheer. Visit Cellcom.com for details. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. All right, Mike, we talked about the Fab Fives and the girls game, but we have probably some different audience watching this boys game. So Ricardo's Fab Five teams, the top boys and top girls basketball players entering the season. That's about ready to be unveiled on next week on postpresent.com.
Yes, it is. If you're just joining us, yeah, we're close to having those ready to go. A nice video presentation by our buddy Jim Rosandick, and good work by Ricardo on that. The 5 top girls basketball players and the top 5 boys basketball players. Those will come out separately early in the week. We're hoping for the girls, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And then the boys come out, we hope, like Thursday or Friday. Definitely want to get those out before the Christmas break. I can say, looking at the 5 boys who made now this is the top 5 seniors, just seniors.
Okay.
And it's from kind of from the Oshkosh to the Green Bay area, coverage areas for USA Today Network Wisconsin. The 5 players, it was a tough choice for the boys team this year, and the 5 that we chose, and obviously the listeners can probably guess who some of those are. We won't give them away right now, but it's as good a 5 as we've had in a long time, I think, for the 5 we chose for the boys.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, some big-time names on that list. I think you can probably figure it out a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think so. Again, we don't want to give it away, but there's a D1 player, D1 player, D1 player,
Yeah.
D1 player, and a player who this might give it away a little bit. And the 5th player is somebody who is quickly rising up the all-time scoring list in Wisconsin, and probably not going to get to number 1 this year, but he's going to get himself probably top 5, maybe even top 3 all-time scoring.
Might get top 2.
Might get top 2, so there's a hint on who one of the players is. But yeah, just stacked. Just a stacked Fab 5 for the boys, and we talked about it during the girls game too. A lot of really good girls basketball players that we had to pick from this year too. So that'll be coming out this week, we hope. For sure get one of them out this week, maybe one of them the following week, but those are almost ready to go.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Coming up this next week, postpreston.com, greenbaypressgazette.com as well. We're streaming both games tonight. Boys and girls who are friends at the Press Gazette Facebook page as well, because there's always interest up the road. There's going to be some overlap come tournament time anyway, but looking forward to that. Speaking of the all-time scoring list and that player, I'm not going to give it away, but Mickey Crow is number 2 on that list. And I talked to Mickey recently, and I kind of mentioned about this young man, and Mickey was all for it. he was all for it. He's like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. You know, he's had that number 2 spot since the early 90s when Anthony Pieper surpassed. But you got to remember, and I told Mickey this too, Mickey played in an era where there was no three-point line, number 1, and only saw very spot minutes as a freshman. Basically did it as sophomore, junior, and senior year. So I told Mickey, you're still the all-time scoring champion in my book. He probably would have an unbreakable record, and actually not too long ago was the 50th anniversary of his 72-point game against Cedar Grove. He thought his dad, Marty, the coach at JFK Prep at the time, thought he had the all-time single-game scoring record. Ended up he didn't, but he estimates that at least half of his shots that night were three-point buckets. So I said you probably had 100 points in today's game, knowing how he shot the ball. But anyway, should be fun, and maybe we could catch up with Mickey, if that young man that you're talking about was in on at least Mickey Crow's record.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Brett wrote a book on Mickey Crow, and he knows the history of Mickey, and
Mickey still calls me.
Might be nice to revisit, as you said, if he gets past this year, or even gets close to, passing him. It might be good to revisit some of that story and video that you had too with Mickey. Certainly a legendary figure in Wisconsin basketball history.
No doubt about it. So yeah, Mickey calls me regularly. Always have fun conversations with him. Checking the chat out. Andy Hurley, I'm watching with no sound. I mean, come on, Andy. Hey, Hank, tell him that he needs to turn up the sound so he can hear me and Mike talking about Andy Hurley, the former Kimberly great who went on to play at Lawrence with those great Lawrence teams back in the day.
And a stalwart still, I think, in the Holy Cross Men's Open tournament that is held in Kaukauna every year.
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame there.
Great winter event every year. And the Hurley Insurance team that usually makes a deep run in that tournament.
Steve, I think his brother, part of that team maybe. Anyway, again, not sure when our next Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream will be. It'll be after the holidays, though. This is going to be our last stream of the calendar year. We've got vacation time, and then the following week is all Christmas stuff. So we're going to kind of wind down a little bit. And then I'm guessing January 3rd, as I said in the girls' game, I got an idea of what I might want to do on that January 3rd game. But I'll make an announcement on Twitter at PCBrettC, so please give me a follow. Mike is at MikeSherry14, I believe it is, and Jim Rosandick at MetalRosie, METALROSIE, and Ricardo at Ricardo De Leon.
And don't forget Ricardo, he's not here tonight. That's probably why Andy Hurley doesn't want the sound on, because he doesn't want to hear me, which is fine.
Yeah, it's more me, I'm sure. But, and then Varsity Roundtable, we just had the Freedom Girls basketball team on Wednesday. You can check out a replay of that on postcrescent.com or our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. We're going to take off, too, for the next couple of weeks. Be back at it on January 8th. Monday's our Clubhouse Live show, our Packers show with Romeo Dobbs. We're having a toy drive. Toy donations benefit Toys for Tots. Anybody who brings in a toy, Romeo Dobbs will exchange that with an autograph from him. So definitely check that out. Gates open at 5 o'clock. Show starts at 6:30. That's at the Fox Club inside Neuroscience Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute. Home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, free admission. Check it out. We'll look back on the big Packers Seahawks showdown Sunday night. Looks like Romeo's going to be playing again, so that's good that he's back out on the field. And we'll have a whole lot of fun. And if you can't make it to a show, it's also streamed on our websites, Facebook pages, and our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. Mike, I just want to run down the first half scoring for the Papermakers. Cullen with 2, Wilds with 3, Lam with 3, Van Offeren 6, Plough with 6, Krause with 12, Grabner with 2. For Hortonville, Miller with 14 to lead everybody. Joling with 9, Rogers with 9, Sweeney with 2.
Entertaining first half, Brett. Ready for 18 more minutes of the same.
Definitely looking forward to that. And Hortonville will start the second half with the basketball. Yeah, I think this is going to go down to the wire. That's what we want.
It's interesting, Brett. The Hortonville girls are down on the other end watching the game, and Rainey Wilson is still in her uniform. Most of the other players are in their sweatsuits or Rainey Wilson was still in her uniform. She's probably thinking about going to get up some shots on the
She might be
the court behind the main court here.
She might be thinking about putting up some shots. That wouldn't actually surprise me.
No, exactly.
Getting a little extra shots up, a little extra practice after the game. Nice drive by Joling, who kicks out to Rogers with a triple. There are some pieces on this Hortonville team, Mike, that look awfully impressive.
Rogers had 12 against Appleton North, and now he's already matched that with early in the second half here.
Krause with a big first half, but nice offensive rebound. Oh, loose ball. Mikey Wild's able to keep up with it. Kimberly will reset down 7. Wild's looking for some help, and good hands there by number 14. That's Max Chan with the steal.
Polar Bears looking to move to 4-0 and 2-0 in the FVA, Brett.
Looks like that was Riley Miller with the miss. Couldn't tell. Maybe a hand got on that for the block. Cullen going to take it. But another chance for the Papermakers, down 7. Oh, Miller just knocked it away. He's going to try to take it all the way, and does. Gets the block, the steal, and the finish. And a 9-point lead, largest of the game for Hortonville. Good catch by Van Offeren, trying to work that block. Good, just physical play, kind of bullied his way in. And I think we have a player down. And that's Rogers. Looks like he's all right. Gives the thumbs up to Matt Hintz down the way. Got to talk about a little bit about Matt Hintz. This is already his 13th season at Hortonville. That doesn't seem possible. Used to be the head coach at New London, his alma mater. And I remember Hintz as a standout basketball player for the Bulldogs. Graduated as the Bulldogs' career scoring leader, 1,646 points. Led New London to back-to-back Division II state appearances in 98 and 99. State runners-up in 98 and the state champs in 99. He played for his father, Roy. Remember those great New London teams back then?
That's right, yeah. Rogers went to the bench there, Brett. I think he took either an elbow or a shoulder to either the chest or the stomach. And as you said, Van Offeren just made a strong move to the hoop there, and Rogers felt it.
Joling now. Oh, good hands by Krause to knock it away. I feel like Hortonville makes it tough to just even get a clean pass, doesn't it? Their defense really in your face, really plays those passing lanes well. Almost closed out there on the steal. Blocked. That was number 24. That was Owen Sipes, the 6'7" senior, getting his big mitts on that. Miller with the miss, but Joling was there. Offensive putback. Joling now with 11. And good take by Wilds. He's got 5. No, I remember those New London teams. Of course, I laugh because actually my wife is from New London, so. Oh, look at that block. Wow. Max Chan, again, what I'm saying, even shots, they're contesting everything. But they kind of lament over there in New London because I know some people over there. And, you know, the Hausers used to be in New London.
Right, yeah.
And they think, what could we have done with Sam and Joey playing for the Bulldogs way back when? But not meant to be. Guessing they would have done quite well in New London.
I would think so. They've done quite well for themselves wherever they've gone.
Yeah, I'm thinking the New Londoners are thinking they could have had maybe a couple more gold balls in that trophy case. What was it, Steph? Was she an AD at New London at the time, I want to say? I think so.
Of course, she's the executive director now of the WIA.
Yep, I think she went from New London. Then she didn't take over the SPASH job as an AD, and then, yeah, from there, the WIA. Of course, Dave, now the athletic director, her husband, Dave. We had a nice talk with Steph on our 920 Sports podcast show. Ricardo, me, Rosie. She paid us a visit during the state volleyball tournament and kind of talked anything and everything WIAA. Boy, Miller can't get it to fall, gets his own miss and puts it back. That kid is just
he's
Mr. Energy, isn't he?
Well, he's only 6'1", but he plays a lot bigger than his listed height of 6'1".
18 points now for Miller for this half. Cullen to the line. Sipes whistled for the foul. Cullen with a pair of free throws for 2 points. And Cullen now misses the first. You mentioned before, Tom Shafransky, speaking of the WIAA, retiring, longtime member of the WIAA, so congratulations to him on a great career. Mike, there's an opening of the WIAA if you want it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite what they're looking for, but
move over to Stevens Point. That's a nice town.
Get some Bill's Pizza.
Ooh. Bike the green circle trail. Joling, beautiful. That's a 2, toe on the line, but look at that shot.
He hasn't attempted too many shots out from outside tonight, Brett, but looked good on that stroke there.
Well, he's got 13 points. It's kind of, I hate to say it's a quiet 13 because he's probably going to end up with 20, but he's just kind of picking his spots, like you said. Doesn't force it, does he? He plays so smooth. Joling, he's got Division I scholarship offers from Bryant, UW-Milwaukee, and Southern Mississippi so far. Riley Miller right now has a D3 offer, Wisconsin Lutheran.
Keeps playing like he is tonight and the rest of the season. He'll be getting a lot more offers.
I think so too.
He does it on both ends too. He's got really quick hands on defense.
I'd imagine Joling's going to get some more offers as well. Only a junior. This next summer will be big for him.
You never know about these kids too. Still at that age where they could go through another growth spurt.
Oh yeah. Oh, Van Offeren just stays with it. Van Offeren now with 10. So Kimberly well within striking distance, under 12 to play as we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Good defense by Krause, trying to shut down Joling, I should say, and Krause with the rebound. Here comes Mikey Wilds down the floor. Kick out. Oh, I thought Krause was going to take it. Oh, somehow Van Offeren caught the deflected pass, and he'll go to the line. Miller now with a pair of fouls.
That's a good foul by him, though. Didn't want to give up the easy layup, and it's only a second foul. So.
Van Offeren with 10, his first trip to the stripe. Cullen actually the only one to shoot free throws for the Papermakers. He's 3 of 4, now a team 3 of 5 after that first miss. One of 2 is Landon Van Offeren, so 11 points. Down to a 7-point game.
Yeah, that was a couple possessions ago. It was Hortonville could have gone up by 12 or 13. So nice job by Kimberly here to kind of stem that tide a little bit.
Boy, so quick off the bounce is Miller, and he'll go to the line. He's got a tough little crossover.
He does. You think he's going to settle for the jumper, and that crossover gets him free every time. Super quick.
So Miller, who's got 18, chance with these 2 free throws to hit the 20-point mark tonight. First trip to the free throw line for the senior. And this is first. I jinxed him.
He did. Miller averaging 17.7 per game, so he's already topped his season average. with 11 minutes still left in the game here. Missed them both.
Little turnaround by Wilds. Nice shot. And Wilds now with 7 for this half, and down to a 2-possession game. 5-point lead for Hortonville. Going to let it fly from 3. No. And that is number 4, Lam with the rebound. And I think we're going to get a grab or a hold or something, but it's going to be against the Polar Bears. That'll be team foul number 3.
Yeah, Joling just kind of reached around and grabbed there.
That's his second.
Wasn't moving his feet there. He kind of got beat, and he just kind of, hate to say it, got a little lazy. He just kind of reached around and took a bad foul there, but.
There's Buchanan now with it. Remember, he had the hot hand against Spash. Wilds, tough take, finger roll. Cool, Kimke didn't fall. Here comes Joling now in the Polar Bears. Joling, you got about 4 different defenders watching him. Kick out, 3, is that Miller? Got it! Little fist pump after that as well. And 21 points now for Miller.
His 3rd three-pointer of the night, Brett.
That's good basketball, right? Not forcing it again, looking for the open shooter. Kind of packed in against Joling. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 defenders really paying attention.
But Kimberly came right back. Brett hustled down the court, got a drew foul on the other end. So.
Yep, Krause having a big night. 12 first half points, looking to add to that total here. Misses the free throw. Look at a Krause, Mike, just a sophomore, 6'4" sophomore. Get some valuable minutes here at the FVA level, the varsity level. That's only going to pay dividends this season and beyond.
Kimberly struggling a little bit at the free throw line tonight, Brett.
Yeah, 3 of 6 this half. 4 of 8, I believe, on the night. Or 5 of 8, check that. Whoa, look at that finish, Mike. Wow. And not only a little crossover, but just enough of a hesitation to kind of get that defender leaning maybe the other way, and then he just takes off.
Yeah, and then they have the touch to put that ball up on the glass, you know, and get it to drop in so soft.
Yeah, he's got 23 now on the night, and that's 9 this half. But yeah, very skilled and impressive is Riley Miller, 6'1" senior guard. He can. He's got some springs on his legs too. He can really get up there. Yeah, that's going to go against Elliot Vetter. Elliot Vetter, a 6'4" junior guard for the Polar Bears. 5 team fouls for Hortonville, just 1 for Kimberly. 9-point game. About halfway through this second half. Wilds, kick out. Oh, good save by Krause. I thought that was going to hit the sideline, but Kimberly has. But look again how aggressive Hortonville playing defensively. Tough jumper, no good. Rebound, and here comes Miller.
They're like sharks. They smell blood in the water when they're on defense. When they see that Kimberly's struggling with their handle, they pick up the intensity even more.
Boy, relentless. Oh boy, good ball handling skills by Miller. Super impressed, and look at that finish. That's Vetter. And just like that, it's an 11-point lead again for Hortonville, and another bucket. Was that Joling?
I think Joling got it, yeah.
Yeah. Steal off the inbounds, and now the paper makers have to burn a timeout. Swift flurry.
Speaking of smelling blood in the water, that little frenzy there by the Polar Bears pushes their lead to 13, Brett, with 8:49 to go.
That might match the largest of the night. There's a good shot at Matt Hintz talking to his guys. Mark Miller, our buddy, editor of the Wisconsin Basketball Yearbook, basketball writer, scout for Prep Hoops. He picks Oshkosh North to win the FVA. Then he's got Appleton North finishing second, followed by Kaukauna, Kimberly, and Nina to round out the top five. And Hortonville picked to finish sixth. If that's a sixth-place team, that shows you the depth of this league. But those are some pretty darn good teams that are above Hortonville.
Well, it does, because Appleton East is off to a 3-0 start, and he doesn't have them in the top 6 in the FBA. So again, we talk about it all the time. From 1 to 10, from the top down, it's just a challenging league.
Yeah, 2 FBA teams ranked in the top 10 in this week's WisSports.net Division I state coaches poll. You have Kaukauna at number 2, Oshkosh North at number 4, and then De Pere at number 1. So 3 of the top 4 teams are all here in the Fox Valley. Shows you again the depth and the quality of basketball. Wow, this league, wow, boys and girls, it's exciting to see how this is going to all play out. Are they going to be able to stand come tournament time after beating each other up so much during the season?
It's a war of attrition.
Well, let's see if Kimberly can make a run after that timeout.
It's kind of like the girls' game, where it kind of just slowly got away from Hortonville in the girls' game, and Kimberly made a run.
Oh, good rebound by Van Offren, and he's fouled. That's a big bucket, and one coming up. And something to consider now too, Mike, that's team foul number 6 against the Polar Bears. So free throws coming the rest of the way, and you try to, again, dial it back a little bit when you're up. Last thing you want to do is put Kimberly at the free throw line with the clock stop and the chance to whittle away at that deficit. There's a 3-point play for Van Offren, and now a 10-point game. Now Kimberly extending its defense. Good job by the Polar Bears to break it.
Van Offren has played really strong and powerful ball tonight, Brett.
Yeah, he's got 14. He looked really good against Nina last week as well. Good football player for Kimberly as well. Oh, good ball movement. And now, yeah, if you're in Hortonville, you're up 10. No big deal. No rush.
No rush, but you don't want to get out of rhythm. You want to do what got you here.
Oh, there's some great hands there. That's Keegan Plew, and the finish, the steal and the finish.
Just like that, it's an 8-point game again.
Polar Bears with all 5 timeouts remaining. And that was on Lom. Just the second team foul for Kimberly. 8-point game, 7.5 to go. There's a trap at the half-court line. Good job. Now Joling is going to take it to the rim, reverse, and in. Good job to get it out of there. It was a good trap at the top there, and almost a steal, and maybe it is.
Great job of throwing the ball off of Van Offren there.
You like that double team right at the timeline, right? You get across the timeline. That's a third defender then. But Hortonville able to get rid of it, and Joling with the nice bucket. Three from the corner, that's too long. Krause with the rebound, and the Papermakers down 10. Here they go with 7 to play. Plew down the floor, looking like the running back that he is for football, and he's fouled, and that's team foul number 7. So bonus free throws now coming up. So Plew at the line, shooting 1 and 1, and these are big free throws, Mike.
Yeah, let's see if they can capitalize. We talked about it earlier that they haven't been the best from the line tonight, but they have a chance to reverse that now in the last 7 minutes.
Well, the penalty is Hortonville with 7:04 to play. That's a lot of time, and can't get the front end to fall. But instead, what do we have? And we're going to get a foul against, I think, Van Offren. He doesn't agree with it.
Coach Owens doesn't either. Exasperated look on his face.
I'm going to say a travel there. Yeah. Aiden Sweeney, the junior guard, I think he saw an opening there, but then it closed pretty quick and nowhere to go, kind of in no man's land at that point.
That's exactly right. Yep. That hole he thought he had closed and took an extra step.
Nice pull up by Wild, short on that one, and now Miller with it. Zone for the Papermakers, trying to. Yeah, I think that there's a good timeout in the first one being used by Hortonville. Got a little disjointed there.
Yeah,
30-second timeout.
I wasn't sure if they were just struggling to get into their offense there or if they were just intentionally trying to run some clock. But,
might have been a little bit of both, but kind of got in trouble there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddie Owens, I guess we can talk about the article Ricardo wrote. You can find it on postgresson.com, but again, he has pretty extensive collegiate coaching experience. UW Green Bay, Oregon State, College of the Holy Cross, Utah Valley State University, University of Montana, Adams State College, all part of an 18-year career in his assistant. The 43-year-old was also a graduate coaching assistant at Iowa State and a student assistant coach at Wisconsin. Played professionally overseas, but he talked to Ricardo on why he left college coaching to coach high school basketball. Kimberly, quote, the support system. He said, that was huge for me, and I was at a point in my life where my wife and I were expecting a kid and pretty much had an idea that I was going to get out of college because of the rigors of traveling and recruiting, being on the road a lot and being away from family, so we stay within the community. And then he also mentioned just the adjustment and all the time that you have coaching with these kids at the college level, the recruiting, getting to know these guys, and it's different. You only get a certain amount of time every day to coach at the high school level, and that's the adjustment right now for Freddie Owens. But boy, he brings a wealth of knowledge to this Kimberly program.
Yeah, he's not only adjusting to these kids, he's adjusting to the high school game and how officials call the game in the Fox Valley. It's all new to him, so it's going to take some time for sure. But his team has looked good tonight, though, Brett.
Yeah, again, I watched that opener against Spash. It was a struggle to get things going offensively. And there's Mikey Wilds with a triple. They did some nice thing. They kind of made a little bit of a rally against Nina. The Rockets, though, playing, I thought, a pretty good basketball last week to win that game. And I think this is, they look like they've taken some big-time steps in it. That's a foul. This is definitely their best-looking performance of the young season so far tonight. So if you're Freddie Owens and Kimberly, you've got to be very encouraged that you're seeing steps already this early in the season.
Sipes was shocked that he was called for a foul on that one. Brett, he thinks he got all ball.
That's Lom, so he's got 4, 1 of 1, and don't look now, Mike, but it's a 6-point game. So a little bit of a run here for the Papermakers with a long way to go, and free throw shooting the rest of the night for Kimberly. That's the 8th team foul, shooting foul here, obviously, but 18 fouls already for Hortonville. Now it's a 5-point game.
Was 13 the biggest lead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kimberly's done a good job of keeping the ball out of Miller's hands the last couple of minutes. You can see Hortonville's offense has kind of struggled since.
And another timeout for the Hortonville Polar Bears. Full timeout. Don't forget about the digital subscription. $1 for 6 months gives you unlimited digital access to everything. All of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites, including the Post-Crescent. So you can go to any of our websites and get in on that. $1 for 6 months. You can't go wrong. We appreciate your support.
After tonight, Brett, if Hortonville closes this out, they'll be 4-0, and then they'll face Fond du Lac next Tuesday, and then a big game at Kakwana next Friday night, and then a non-conference game on the 28th against Pulaski before really getting into the meat of their FBA schedule.
Quick turnaround for the Kimberly. They play Whitnall, right? I believe tomorrow in that Baird Gusman shootout over at Katana. think that might be a later afternoon tip as well.
I would hope so. I hope they get one of the.
Yeah.
I hope they get the night game.
I was checking to see if Whitnall was ranked in the top 10. Didn't see them in the WIS Sports coaches poll. Always a pretty good program.
I think Freedom. I think Freedom's playing Mosinee. I think at 1:30 at Kaukauna tomorrow.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah, a lot of good teams. Good games on the docket tomorrow.
Yeah, so you got nothing to do. Check out some high school basketball at Kaukauna High School. A whole bunch of games going on at the Baird Gussman Shootout.
Rogers with the nice take there.
Yeah, he's got 14, 5 this half, and a big bucket for the Polar Bears. Now a 3-possession game with 5 to go.
It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow, Brett, so people can get out and get to some games.
Sipes with the steal, now Joling, and the block, count the basket. And just like that, Kimberly fans not happy with they're thinking maybe it was a push-off, but the official said it's the block.
I'm okay with that call, Brett. I don't think it was a charge. I was a little surprised they gave him the hoop, but
well, Joling now 2, 4, 6, 10 this half, 19 on the night, looking to make it 20 with this free throw, and he's got an even 20. He's 4 or 5 from the free throw line as well, and in the blink of an eye, it's back up to a 10-point game. 5 quick points. Again, look at that, aggressive. Got to be careful. Almost a steal, and a timeout by Freddie Owens. Mike, that's his last timeout. That's a full timeout, and that is it. He's out of timeouts.
Yeah, but that was a good timeout.
Maybe
Brett.
he needed to, yeah.
That one needed to be called.
Nothing you could do there. Is player was in trouble, down 10, in a big possession. Here's a good look at Freddie Owens right there, former Badger. Got used to wearing that red, right?
Looks good on him. Brett, Riley Miller with 23, Joling with 20, and Rogers with 14. I think they've combined for all but 4 points for Hortonville 61 total.
Let's see the Kimberly side, Van Offeren with 14, Mikey Wilds with 10, and Krause with 13. Good basketball both sides. You know, we talked about Kimberly and already seeing steps of improvement, but Hortonville, boy, I can't tell you how I'm impressed with these guys. These guys are going to be an absolute thorn in this FBA race this season. They're going to make some noise.
I think it's fair to say there might be a few teams in the league that are more talented than Hortonville, but boy, they play hard. They are in your face. They won't be a fun team for anybody to play, that's for sure.
Not at all. So luckily for us, we don't have to. We can just watch.
But if Miller and Joling and even Rogers play like they are tonight, that's a formidable threesome for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, Polar Bears come out in the zone, and just like that, Wilds drops another triple. He's got 3 3-point buckets. He's got 13, and a big bucket at that. There's where that timeout was huge. Almost a steal. Instead, Wilds is going to call for the foul, 15 foul.
Miller got up limping a little bit there with the little hit down near the knee.
Nice little shot fake by Rogers. That stuff works, Mike. A little hesitation, get that defender up. Oh, blocked. That was number 24, Owen Sipes again, the 6'7". Senior for the Polar Bears. Good ball movement by Hortonville, but couldn't get that one to fall. Here comes Kimberly down 9, 3:45 to play. Wild's going to take it, tough take, and that's a good finish. Boy, he's playing some good ball.
Yeah, he's been very impressive tonight.
Showing that athleticism and explosive burst. That's a good matchup here between Wilds and Miller.
Haven't seen much of Grabner in the second half here for Kimberly. He gave them some good minutes in the first half.
Up and in and foul. Count it for Rogers. gets called for the foul, and now Rogers, he's got 18. Looking to make it 19. Boy, they might have three guys with at least 20 points tonight when this is all said and done. That's pretty impressive.
Going to win a lot of ball games if you can put 3 guys in over 20.
And Rogers can't get it to fall. Still 9-point game, 3-possession game, nearing that 3-minute mark as we look at our Cellcom. Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Wilds is hot. And that'll be team foul number 7 against Kimberly.
Win or lose, I think, Freddie Owens is finding out some things about his ball club tonight. Maybe some of the guys he can lean on for scoring. Van Offern's been really good tonight, so is Wilds.
Miller 1-1 coming up. He's got 23. He's 0 for 2 from the stripe. What a game for the senior guard. And hits the front end. Make it 24 now. Gets them both. Big free throws for Miller. 25 now on the night. 9-point lead with under 3 to play. Wilds again. And wow, he can't miss. He can't miss. Mikey Wilds having a huge game. And what does he have, 19 now on the night? Joling, what a spin move, and that's a good finish. Defender was there, Mike, but he just spun his way out of it using that baseline, and he's up and in.
Oh, I was just going to say, Wilds is so good at creating his shot, and Joling said, yeah, I can create my own too.
Wilds, 16 points this half. 3 defenders on Van Offeren. He'll go to the line. 2-shot foul coming up.
Sipes is listed at 6'7", Brent. When you look at him, does he look 6'7"?
What do you think?
I don't think so, but then he's standing across the lane here from Joling, who's also listed at 6'7", and yeah, it checks out.
Van Offeren makes them both. 16 for Van Offeren. Mike, it's a 6-7-point game. Long way to go here. Nice bounce pass, beautiful from Rogers to Sipes, his first bucket of the night. Three-pointer from Krause, off the mark. Now Miller, he's fouled by Lahm. That's Lahm's 4th. 1-1 coming up for Miller, who's already got 25.
Yeah, Kimberly needed to score quick there, Brett, but I'm not sure that was maybe the shot they wanted to take.
Miller, perfect 3 of 3 from the stripe. Now a 4-possession game. That's a big free throw. Miller with 26 overall. And misses that one. Loose ball. Here comes Kimberly. Now or never for the Papermakers. Bounce pass almost the right idea from Krause to Van Offeren, but it was knocked out of bounds.
Does anyone wear high top shoes anymore, Brett?
I don't think so.
Everywhere wears the low cuts now.
High tops are kind of a little too suffocating on the feet. Feels like you're those low tops. You feel a little bit more free. Then you put a little ankle brace on, and
yeah, I just worry about the ankles without those taller shoes.
How about Hortonville just kind of breaking that pressure and getting right to the rim? Looking pretty good for the Polar Bears to stay unbeaten. There's Plu with a bucket.
Good patience by Joling there. He probably could have taken it to the basket, but pulled it back out.
So Rogers 1-1, sitting on 18 points, and if he can knock down these 2 free throws, of course 1-1, he needs to hit the front end first. He'll be the 3rd Polar Bear to hit 20 points. There's 1. He's got 19. And can't get it to go.
Disappointing. Wanted him to get 20.
There's a triple by Wiles. Jeez, red hot. Well, there'll be some more fouling going, I'm sure. Loose ball. Joling has it. He's fouled. That's team foul number 10, so double bonus. Free throws coming for Joling was 22.
Kimberly fans chanting, "Let's play baseball."
Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director here, of course, also the head baseball coach. Very successful program.
Hortonville's had some pretty good baseball success lately, too.
But just the other day, when I was talking to him, it was so warm here. You could get out there and play a little baseball in weather like this. Now, not currently, but earlier in the week when it was mid 40s, upper 40s. Get that itch to play a little baseball.
They don't need to. They got that nice indoor facility they can throw in.
That's right. See, the Brewers just traded Devin Williams today, huh?
They did. I think most people thought that was going to happen.
I thought they'd get a little bit better haul than what they did, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know these guys at all. Maybe they're going to, they're kind of rumored to kind of in maybe the hunt to sign that Japanese pitcher.
Well, that'd be interesting.
He wants to go to maybe a small market team.
Yeah, I heard Seattle might be a landing spot for him, but Coach Hintz clearing the bench here for Hortonville.
Number 12, Carson Colbert.
Up 9 with 28 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to attempt another shot, Brett.
Well, let this one wind down. And how about those Hortonville Polar Bears? Undefeated on the season and looking pretty tough. Team to watch, without a doubt. There's the buzzer. That means it's final. We look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Hortonville with the win, 76-67. Well, Mike, I'm going to add this up here in a little bit, but
you said it, Brett. Impressive showing by Hortonville tonight. Polar Bears improved to 2-0 in the FEA and 4-0 overall now. Kimberly still looking for its first win in the Freddie Owens era. Papermakers fall to 0-3 and 0-2 in the FEA. If you're Matt Hintz with Hortonville, you got to be impressed with what your team showed tonight. Back-to-back wins now, beating a good Appleton North team and then beating Kimberly on the road to run their record to 4-0. And if you're Coach Owens, Freddie Owens, I think you saw some positive signs tonight. I think you saw some things you can build on. He said it's going to be a work in progress as he tries to figure out his team, and they'll keep working at it. But some of the things they did tonight, they can definitely build on and use those going forward for sure.
Team to watch, but both these teams, as we said in the girls' game, what are they going to look like in mid-January, late January, February? That's a Kimberly, even though they're undefeated, that's a scary team with their athleticism. I think they're going to come together Boy, Hortonville, I was super impressed with these guys tonight. I mean, you got that three-headed monster right there in Miller, Joling, and Rogers. Like you said, we got three guys almost scoring 20 points. Well, two guys that surpassed 20, Rogers finishing with 19. Yikes. And a defense that doesn't take any possessions off.
Right.
You know, just kind of disruptive, making you uncomfortable. They're knocking down shots. And but for as impressive as I thought their defense was and their pressure, you know, Kimberly still scored 67, but it's their offensive ability that was really impressive. Guys that can really put it in the hole in different ways. They can hit three-pointers. They can attack the rim, some pull-ups, and that was a nice looking team, nice looking win for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, I think that's where I was most impressed with Hortonville is the way they took the ball to the basket, either getting layups for themselves or taking the ball to the basket and then dishing to the open man on the wing. So just a real impressive performance, and you know Coach Hintz is going to be very happy walking out of this gym with a victory.
Well, let me run down the scoring, and then we're done for the night. No more games, right? Is that it? Just a doubleheader? No triple-header tonight?
Triple-header? Let's play 3.
Why not? I'm for it. We're all settled in, nice and cozy. But for the victorious Polar Bears, Miller with 26, Joling with 23, Vetter with 2, Rogers with 19, Sweeney with 2, Sipes with 4. For the Papermakers, Cullen with 3, Wild with 22. That included 19 in the second half. Lom with 5, Van Offeren with 16, Plu with 6, Krause with 13, Grabner with 2. As Mike said, Hortonville now 4-0 overall, 2-0 in the FVA. Hortonville home against Fondy on Tuesday. FVA matchup tip-off is set for 6 p.m. I'm guessing that must be a doubleheader again on Tuesday night.
Yep.
Kimberly 0-3 overall, 0-2 in the FVA. No rest for the Papermakers. They're back at it tomorrow. They're taking on Whitnall as part of the Baird-Gusman shootout at Kaukauna. Tip-off is set for 4:30 p.m. in that one. As for us, not sure, to be determined when we'll be back at it, but it will be in 2025, early 2025. We're off for the next couple weeks to get through some vacation time and some holiday time. So thank you to everybody who's checked us out on our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live streams, both football and boys and girls basketball to start the season. But we'll get going again right away in January, and we got a whole bunch of good basketball games on the docket for sure. So definitely check it out. I'll announce our next matchup on my Twitter account. Please give me a follow at PC Bretzi. You can always access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And again, we appreciate everybody watching these streams, not only this year, but throughout the many years. Nice to see some familiar names on the chat, so we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and happy holidays to all of you out there. Thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get those stocking stuffers ready with buy one, gift one free on all connected watches, tablets, and cameras. Mix and match to spread the love and cheer. Visit cellcom.com for details. And Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel. Spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney'sEmbroideryandSportswear.com. So, Mike, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, for pinch hitting for Ricardo, who was off, allegedly off.
Allegedly. Great job as always, Brett. Hopefully I didn't mess up too bad.
No, you did a great job. I always like hanging out with you, and you do great work. Appreciate Rosie over there as well. Happy holidays to you. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, Mike and Rosie and Ricardo.
Same to you. Thanks for Rosie battling a little technical difficulties before the girls' game tonight, getting us up and running. It was looking a little scary there for a while, but Rosie got it figured out, as did you, Brett. So love your guys' technical expertise to make this happen as often as you guys do.
If you ever could have just seen how the sausage was being made tonight, you would have been amazed how we got this off. But Rosie, in the nick of time, figured some things out.
Rosie asked me to plug in like one little camera. I'm like, I have no mechanical ability at all. I don't want to mess it up. I'm not touching anything.
No, we got it going, and thankfully we got both games on without a hitch, so we appreciate that. But again, so for Mike, for Rosie, and the rest of the USA Today Network Wisconsin crew, this is Brett Christopherson signing off from Jack Wippich Court here at Kimberly High School. Again, the final score tonight on the boys' side, Hortonville with the win, 76.